probably have it on Do Not Disturb, I just realized.
Welcome back, everybody, to this week's live episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel. And I skipped to the 3 frames, the 2 frames. So we got Hayley and Drew with us tonight. Hey guys, you can take yourselves off mute now because I hit the wrong button. My one job as producer. And yes, Sam and I are decked out in our Seahawks gear tonight, because what day do you get to wear Seahawks gear? The day after they win the Super Bowl. So
the Super Bowl, the world champions, the same day that Sam Darnold, our quarterback, and Kenneth Walker III, our MVP, were down at Disneyland today, and they were in a parade with Mickey and Minnie in their 70th anniversary gear. I just got to say that there is going to be a parade here in Seattle on Wednesday downtown. I'm going to tell you, I'm probably staying away from downtown because it's going to be crazy down there. But anyway, we are super excited for our team, and for anyone who's ever been a Seattle sports fan, it's just a generally year after year demoralizing thing. And so finally, when we win, we have to really go all out and celebrate. Yes. And so for the city of Seattle, this is a really, really great thing.
Way to tie it back to Disney, Sam. Love the effort there.
Yeah.
Before we keep going here, I have to say a big thank you to our sponsor. These shows are also brought to you by the DCL Magazine, the good folks over at the DCL Magazine. Love everyone over there. If you have not already, head over to DCL-magazine.com. That's DCL-magazine.com. And you can subscribe to the forthcoming, brand new, be a member of the charter crew of the DCL Magazine. They posted last week. A fun article is coming out. They actually posted the entire article, so you just go read it. Really want.
I mean, it's really small print.
It's really small. I mean, I had to sit there and finagle the Instagram, but it was all about. So it was written by me, and it's all about our hike up Pulpit Rock in Norway, and how fun that excursion is, and how just amazing the views are at the top of Pulpit Rock. Even though I was clinging heavily to the side of the rock because I was really nervous.
Yeah, and it's actually the cruise that we first met Hayley and Drew in person in real life. We had met them virtually prior to that cruise, but it was the first time we got to actually hang out and spend time in person. So really cool. We've got some news.
I gotta wrap up the sponsor spot by saying, please head over to DCL-magazine. Please head over to DCL-magazine.com. Use code DCL Duo, all caps, DCL Duo, to take 10% off your magazine subscription, print, digital, other magazine subscriptions that they sell, calendars, just all kinds of fun stuff. So DCL-magazine.com, code DCL Duo, all caps, and we will have that rolling across the screen here in a second in case you missed it. Sam, now over to you for the news.
Yes. Well, we have some news, but we also, before we get to Disney Cruise Line news, we have some podcast news. We were on the DCL Dudes show this week, and so make sure you head over there to listen to that episode. We did a really fun port draft, meaning we chose from all the ports that Disney Cruise Line goes to. And it was a round robin style, and Alyssa got to go first, so she got to choose Castaway Key before the rest of us even got a pick. So right now she's winning in the competition of all four of us. We each four had our ports. So go over to the DCL Dudes Instagram right now and vote for me. Vote for my itinerary, or maybe vote for Brian's Great American Cities itinerary. But either way,
we're losing in all the polls, so we need you out there.
We're
to
losing really badly. Yeah. We're losing really bad. But make sure you go and listen to that episode, because I think it's a really fun episode. And then in other news, we are going to be on, I believe, on Wednesday of this week, we're going to be on the One More Run podcast with our friends AJ and Erica. They host, it is a podcast all about Run Disney and preparing for Run Disney and registering for Run Disney and all of the different do's and don'ts you need to know for getting involved with running, as well as doing Run Disney races. And I think it's going to be a great episode. I believe it comes out this Wednesday. So we recorded that with them last week. So you can hear lots of the DCL Duo this week between our podcast, the DCL Dudes podcast, and of course between the One More Run podcast. So anyway, lots of good stuff coming. Brian's telling me I'm too loud, so I'm turning down my gain. Hopefully,
maybe just a little bit higher, not much.
Oh,
because
okay,
you were blowing out my eardrums there for a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, all right. What else have we got going on in news? Yeah.
News. Okay, so now news. Disney Cruise Line news. The Adventure is currently in LA right now as we speak. She's going to be sailing out of LA tonight. She's going to be heading over across to Asia. She stops in Tokyo for, I think, a day. And then I'm not sure if she overnights or if she's just there for a daytime to refuel and get some more supplies on board. And then she's got another 8-day sailing, I believe, from Tokyo to Singapore. So she's on her way. She is actually the largest ship to have ever traversed the Panama Canal. So she is the current Panamax size. And apparently she sustained some damage going through one portion of the canal. And so there is some question out there in the universe whether or not she's going to be ready for her maiden voyage, given the damage that she sustained. And we're, of course, crossing our fingers. We know some folks who are going to be on the maiden voyage and hoping that she's going to be all ready to go. But yeah, she's in LA. And then the other thing I wanted to announce news-wise is I think those itineraries that we've been waiting for are coming real soon, in the next week. So maybe if based on history, it's usually Tuesday or Thursday. So it could be tomorrow, could be this Thursday, could be next Tuesday potentially. But based on the timing of when there was an email that went out to, I think, people in the UK about bookings for the next set of itineraries for the general public starting on February 23rd. So if you count backwards, I think that means we've got to have itineraries within, the next 7 or 8 days. Now, if there is a itinerary drop tomorrow or Thursday, we will have a show. It might be a late show for those of you on the East Coast, but we will have a live show.
Thursday. If it happens Thursday, we may not be able to do it.
Oh yeah,
you will be
I'll
flying
be flying
you're out of town
to the East Coast.
So,
That's
yes.
right. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll hopefully watch our Instagram for itinerary release information if we're going to have a show and when, because we're going to really try our best to have a show if they drop the itineraries in the next couple of days. We're also going to be signing up for Wine and Dine tomorrow morning. So it could be a crazy week.
After we told people specifically,
I know,
at the race weekend, this is our last Run Disney.
I know.
Never again. Too early. Would never fly to the East Coast to do Run Disney.
I know.
What are we doing? Getting up and signing up for Wine.
I know, but it's because it's all AJ and Erica's fault. I'm just going to blame it on them. They're in the chat right now. I'm just blaming it on the One More Run podcast.
Guys,
I'm blaming it on AJ and Erica for telling us that it's better than Marathon Weekend and that the 10K course is really good.
I booked our DVC room this morning, so I guess it's got to happen. So there you go. We'll be running Wine. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we got to switch over. We got to talk about two fabulous and amazing guests, Hayley and Drew, who met their destiny for the first time.
I love how they always have their names backwards. We've got.
I almost did Drew and Haley, but I was like, nope, gonna keep Hayley and Drew. Just we were talking to Nathan about this in the car the other day.
No.
Musical
at this
chairs.
musical chairs. I love
We were
it.
just talking to Nathan about this the other day in the car, how there's like when you say a couple's name, like there's always like a right way and a wrong way. So he's like, it's always mom and dad,
Right.
not dad and mom. And it's like, and so we were
Sam
going
and
through all
Brian.
these Sam and Brian,
Haley
not
and
Brian
Drew.
and Sam, right? So yeah. So there you go. So I always think Haley and Drew. Haley and Drew. So there you go.
Ashley
That's
and
funny.
Daniel, right? AJ,
Yeah.
but it's AJ and Erica, not Erica and AJ. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We can't figure it out.
Our 2-year-old goddaughter refers to us as Hey Drew, so
Hey,
know.
Drew.
Hey
I
Drew.
love it.
Love it.
I love
All right,
it. That's
let's talk about your Destiny sailing. Wait, but before we get there, I was going to ask you on the news item, are you all at all interested in getting to Singapore to go on the adventure? Or is that like, where does that rank on the list of ships for you?
I mean, I think, I definitely would, but I think, as we'll cover later in this sailing, we probably got the closest we'll ever get to it on this sailing of the Destiny when it sailed past us.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think if I'm gonna go all the way over there, I want an itinerary that does more than just
Putter
around, just because of how long it would take to get there from the East Coast. So,
Come to think of it, Sam, we are probably as close to the adventure as we will ever be right now.
we are. Yeah. In Seattle, it's in LA. That's probably the closest we'll ever get. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, let's talk about the Destiny. So, did you just decide to book this because you had to try the Destiny, or like what went into your decision to book
It was
the Destiny?
us. It was us,
it's
Brian.
your
Yes.
fault.
Oh, my fault. All right. All right.
Yes.
Well, I'll take that as an answer. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
How
started
did we
listening-
influence you to book this cruise so we can repeat it for other things? Yeah.
Yeah, we had already, because we had a fantasy sailing for Very Merry, which we were on here talking about in December, and we had already had that booked. And then we started listening to the Destiny coverage coming out, and we were like,
Your media preview
Yeah.
cruise specifically.
well, I guess we've got to book this. And so we
just
did.
I have MLK off as a holiday at work, and I guess you do too. And if not, you have unlimited PTO, so whatever. So we get on there and we price it out, and it's for a sailing that's only like 2 months away, 3 months away. It is shockingly cheap. And so we were like, well, guess we're gonna do it.
Especially on the newest ship.
Right.
Yeah. What was the length of the itinerary? You did 4 night or 5 night?
5.
It was
We did a 5.
yeah,
Nice.
a 5
Okay.
night.
And
And
then we went, yeah.
was this your first time sailing out of? It's the first time sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, most likely. But
Yep.
was it also your first time
Yep.
going out of Miami?
First time
generally?
sailing out of Fort Lauderdale on Disney, and we flew in and out of Fort Lauderdale.
No, we flew
Okay.
in. We flew
Oh, that's
out
true.
of
We
Orlando.
flew out of Orlando. I forgot. But we flew
Okay.
in to Fort Lauderdale.
And we did not take the Bright Line. Spoiler alert. Given your glowing review.
Brightline Media Relations has still never. They said they were looking into it and they never got back to me.
Never
so that
got
just
back
tells
to
me
it.
everything I need to know about customer service at Brightline. Although I still have $500 locked up with them, so I got to call them about that. But anyway, where'd you stay in Fort Lauderdale? Assuming that you flew in the night before.
It's a Hilton property called Hotel Dello Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
It was the cheapest one. Everything was like $400 or more a night, and I was not about that life.
Yeah, I don't know if something was going on
And
or
I
something.
found this
but-
for like 150, and the reviews were fine. I mean, it's not like fancy, but I'm like, we're literally just sleeping there the night before this cruise. Like,
Yeah.
we were getting in around dinner time, and we walked to this like famous ice cream parlor / like old timey diner
soda
food.
jerk kind
yeah,
of
like yes.
It was a very eclectic place, but it was a pretty cool find when you're just like, what can I walk to? What's close? And we found this place and walked to it, and it was pretty awesome. They gave
You get free popcorn.
There were like sound effects if you ordered certain things, kind of like Trader Sam's and things like that. So
Nice.
Yeah. It
I'll
was a
have
fun
to-
time.
we should have sent you the restaurant recommendation that we had from the last time we went, because we found this it's not hard to find. I think it's like the most popular Cuban spot in like the area.
I wanted Cuban food originally, but we were like, our flight was delayed, and we were so kind of just like over everything by the time we got there that we didn't want to mess with another Uber.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
So
and
what it
remember,
boils down to-
Brian, that was in Miami, not in Fort Lauderdale, where we went for
Mm.
Cuban food. That was when we were sailing on Virgin, not when we
Oh,
sailed
that's right.
on
That's
Disney.
right. It was
So
Miami. Yeah.
yeah, so we when we were in Fort Lauderdale for the Destiny, I
We ate
think
at the
we like
hotel.
ate at the hotel. Like
Yeah.
at both times we
Yeah.
ate at the hotel the night before, just because it was. We didn't really. We always get in late. We always get in around
Yeah.
5 or 6 p.m. to Florida, and so we're just tired and we just want to get something to eat.
How did you get to the port? Did they have transportation to the port? Like how easy or hard was it for you to get from the hotel you're staying at to the port?
They did. They had transportation, but we chose not to do it. We just did an Uber because it was cheaper.
Yeah, it was $15 per person from the hotel to take a shuttle to the airport, and I'm like, I can get an Uber for both of us for $15, and it's literally like a 10 or 15 minute drive.
Right.
So
and
that's what we did.
And so the port was 10 or 15 minutes away from the hotel then. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And also the airport, same thing. It was very close.
Yeah, we were close to the
That
airport.
hotel does offer an airport shuttle, which I forgot until we were already waiting for our Uber. So I said, well. But for the listeners, you can get a free hotel or a free shuttle from that airport, Fort Lauderdale Airport, to the Hilton Hotel Dello Fort Lauderdale place.
Nice. I'm always wary of the airport shuttles from the hotels because, like, I don't know, we had a car service here, or not a car service, like a car parking place here. We go, oh, we'll send a shuttle, and it's like, yeah, it takes like 30 minutes for the shuttle to roll up. It was we always just missed it. So anyway, all right. Well, you get to the port. This is your first time sailing out of Fort Lauderdale on Disney Cruise Line, so your first time experiencing the Disney-owned terminal in Fort Lauderdale. A little different than the one at Port Canaveral. What did you think of the one at Port Everglades?
I really liked it. I may have even preferred it because it seems like you can spread out and there's a little more room. It's a little bigger. And so that was nice because sometimes, especially if you don't get there like early at Port Canaveral, you can struggle to find a seat. You can, so I liked it a lot more.
I would say it was really chill. We had a pretty early port arrival time. I think it was like 11:15. And we did not, even though we were not using Disney transportation, we still got boarding group 6, which is the same thing one we had for our fantasy cruise the month before when we were using Disney transportation. So I was pleased with how that all shook out. And we're Gold Castaway members, so that just for everyone's reference on that. But we cruised right on up to the port upgrade desk. There was no line. And we ended up upgrading from an inside stateroom to a veranda for about $500.
Wow, this sailing must not have been sold out.
It was, I think that there was maybe 23
what
100 people.
Wow.
It was 66% sold is the number that I heard. 66, 67%.
Wow.
So
we had our pick of upgrades when we got up there. Like they were like, what floor do you want to be on? Where do you want to be? Like all of these things.
I mean, we should have upgraded to concierge, but I didn't ask about that because I feel like some of the benefit of that is getting the shore side to help you with stuff before. And they can't have stocked the fridge with Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar if you didn't tell them in advance. Yeah. So
fair.
You're exactly right about that because they don't typically stock Dr. Pepper on board, but they can do it for you if you are doing in advance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like the benefit of like like getting a cabana and things like that. Those are already booked. I mean, you could get a wait list one.
If the ship's only 66% full, that's not an unlikely possibility that one would come up mid-sailing. And I would say the only benefit of concierge upgrades on the Wish class ships is that front deck it doesn't have a pool. It has like hot tubs and kind of like a cooling off. Like you could sit in there with your feet in the water and like be on your e-reader and not worry about it getting wet. That's the only benefit is the lounge.
Well, and the hot food.
Really nice. The hot food.
The hot food in the lounge is really nice.
I'm fine with cabanas.
On the Wish class. Yeah. No, it's definitely I'm just curious. I wonder why it was so undersubscribed. I mean, I know a lot of people are in school, but it is still MLK weekend that you went over. And so people did already have a 3-day weekend. So it's not so difficult to extend.
Well, it was a Monday to Saturday. So yeah, I guess it was.
Okay. So 4 days
the MLK
from school.
was after. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So it would have been actually 5 days to take kids out of school. So that probably helps explain why it was lower subscribed than other sailings in particular.
Yeah, and it would have been the first week of school for most people. I think.
Yeah, we heard that there was a huge difference in the passenger load from our cruise versus the one right before it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you've been on the Treasure. So you've done the Wish, you've done the Treasure, now the Destiny. You board the Destiny into the Grand Hall. First impressions first looks at the ship, what did you think?
I really liked it. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I still think it's probably second to the Treasure, just because the architecture and the design of the Treasure is phenomenal. But it is really outstanding, and probably my second favorite atrium grand hall, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think for me, I just am a sucker for Islamic inspired architecture. Like I'm a nerd like that. So the treasure still has my heart from that perspective, but the total package of the Grand Hall on the or on the Destiny with the lighting package and the way they utilize the space is really an elevation over what they have on the treasure. But as you're walking in, you don't really get that full effect just yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to wait for like the first villain to roll in and the whole thing kind of transforms.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But was Hero Mini up in that balcony when you walked
She
on?
was.
Yes.
Yes. She was up there waving at everyone.
That's my first photo I took on the Destiny was of Hero Mini.
She's the
And I
best.
thought of you.
I know. I mean, she's my favorite Mini. I can't, I don't know that she can be beat with a different Mini. Like I loved Adventurer Mini on the Treasure. But then when I saw the concept art for Hero Mini, I was like, oh, it's not even a contest. Like it's just, yeah. I'm not sure that there's a I loved Captain Mini when she came out too, by the way. So like the progression of minis is a real thing for me.
So
yeah.
I want to tackle this show a little differently. I want to start by asking this
Yeah.
question, which is, what were you each looking most forward to on the Destiny? Because then when we get to that experience, I'm going to ask you if it lived up to it. I might also ask you throughout the way whether the hype we gave to some of these things, whether they lived up to it. But let's start with what was the one thing you were most looking forward to experiencing on the Destiny? I'm going to start with Hayley.
I have 3.
That's
I
fine.
don't know.
I'm not like saying
Okay,
so
I was
you
like,
can
a friend
cheat
of
with
mine
me
asked
and
me
it's
this
totally
before
fine.
we went. Yeah, a friend of mine asked me this before we went, so I have my 3, and I don't know the order exactly, but Hercules has got to be very high on that list. The Pride Lands restaurant, because I'm a Disney millennial, so the Lion King is the music of my heart, and then the With Great Power Marvel comedy show. Those are my 3.
Okay, so let me just recap then. So Pride Lands, Hercules, and
With Great Power.
With great, yeah, I took them out of order, so it got rattled in my brain. With Great Power, got it. Okay, Drew,
Yep.
what are your top choices? I'll just put it that way.
It was a lot of them overlap, but I'll say one that she didn't, and that was the character interactions.
Oh, yes.
We loved the Star Cruiser. We unfortunately only got to do it once, but hearing about all the incredible character interactions that you could have on this ship, that was the thing I was most excited about.
And I think that's what actually got us to pull the trigger, because we know how things go with Disney. The first version is the best version, and then it just gets worse from there. So if you want to catch something in its most pristinely Imagineered form, you have to go when it's new.
Or they'll start taking it away, tinkering with it.
Right. They'll realize, oh, people don't really care as much about this, so we don't have to put in this much effort. I don't know. This is why we don't have working cannons on Rise of the Resistance in Hollywood studios.
I have to say, as soon as you're saying that, Hayley, I'm just cracking up because it's so true. Like the best version usually is, I mean, it might not operationally be the smoothest, right? Like they might not be able to get as many people, through the experiences because they're so intricate and involved, but it's still going to be the best Imagineered version of whatever that experience is. And so if they start sort of downsizing either by eliminating things or just kind of tinkering with them operationally, they become shorter and usually less immersive, right? So I think that's yeah.
So
Linda's saying in the comments, come to Disneyland because they did actually fix the cannons.
Yeah, they did. Although the whole ride
Yeah.
was shut down for us over run weekend, so it really didn't matter. Let me ask this question now. So we know what your top picks were. Where did you go first after the Grand Hall?
I know this because we got
Have-
texts about it on the first
but
day.
just
But
because we
yes,
know,
I
our
know, I love
listeners
it.
don't.
I
so-
know.
Well, the first thing we did was try to get on the wait list for Palo Brunch because it had been
Ah.
literally since 2022 since we had Palo Brunch because
my
we
Lord.
keep going on new ships full of platinum and pearl cruisers
Yeah,
and we keep
yeah.
not being able to get it. So we did that first and then we decided to do a SAM. We went to sit down lunch for the first time ever.
First time.
And it was
And?
at the Pride Lands. It was fine, but we were ready to go long before they were done serving us the food. We were just like ready to, we wanted to go explore the ship.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
maybe if it's not a brand new ship, then I might have enjoyed being more leisurely and relaxed. But I'm like, bring me my empanadas. No, I don't want dessert. I just want to go see the ship. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I got my Navigator app all queued up with all the things hearted because we've been doing that in the port. And I know we got to start like queuing up for stuff because Disney adults are rampant on the ship, including us, right? So we have to stand in line for things.
Yeah. Well, and remember, you don't want the Oreo cheesecake on that ship because it's not the good Oreo cheesecake.
I remembered that. We skipped it. I said, Sam doesn't think this is worth it. I don't need my calories to go to that.
Exactly. You got it right, Hayley. You got to only stick to the Oreo cheesecake at the sit down lunch on the 4 classic ships. Skip that Oreo cheesecake, whatever. They don't call it Oreo cheesecake. They call
Is
it
it
like
the weird
cookies and
hockey
cream or-
puck sort of
It-
thing on the new
It's
one?
like a no. It's like a. It
Oh,
looks
is the
like
long one?
Yeah, it's the shape of like a
Oh, yeah.
popsicle stick. Yeah, it's just
So-
weird.
All right, so sit down lunch, not a winner for you. What was like the first experience on board after lunch? Like, what did you try to do a character meet and greet? Did you try to head for one of the new bar spaces? Like, what was the first thing that you were hoping to get done?
I know the answer to this.
Well, go ahead.
I was like, I try not to talk too much.
I know
but-
the answer too, but I'm not going to answer for you.
Okay, is your answer Dr. Facilier's parlor?
Yes,
Because,
yes.
Okay, good.
That is.
I'm glad I remembered my own vacation correctly.
I remember getting the
Yeah,
text message.
We got in line for that because you had warned everyone that you should be in line 45 minutes to an hour in advance. And actually, I think maybe Drew was like, ready to. No, I'm thinking of the dining changes. Like I sent you up to
Yeah.
get lunch while I waited in line to talk to somebody about Palo Brunch. Anyway, so yes, Dr. Facilier's parlor. I think we probably waited about 45 minutes. Would you say?
I think so.
Yeah, and it was like kind of overlapping with Loki's first appearance in the Grand Hall,
Yeah, we
and I
kinda
was
missed it.
getting kind of anxious about that. I was like, can I do both? Maybe, possibly. We were too far back to do both. I caught like the tail, like
End of Loki.
end of Loki, I guess. But
But
What-
yeah, then we saw. Actually getting to see Dr. Facilier was fantastic. We actually recently went. There's a show called The Magician's Table that was originally in Britain,
in London,
London, and our local theater brought it here. And so we had just done that like the weekend before we went on this. So, and it's all like up close magic. So it was neat getting to go and kind of, Hayley actually got to sit down at one
I
of the
did.
seats.
He invited me to sit at the table.
But
Very
his mannerisms, his voice, his everything was incredible. So
Nice. How were the?
I see we got a question.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I was going to ask along these same lines, but yes.
Yeah.
Blue Skies and Sunshine Guaranteed is asking, were the lines still bad, even with it being only at 66% capacity? I had the same
yes,
question. Yeah.
yes. For Dr. Facilier, we still had to line up, like she said, 45 minutes before. For Corella de Vil, it was an hour. For Hercules, it was 45 minutes an hour. Like for everything, you still had to line up, or you were going to be
I
back
even
in
had to do
line.
it for Frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
And I'm like, Frozen's not new, but maybe there. But I did see there were like a decent number of first-time cruisers in the Facebook
Mhm.
group. So for them, Frozen is new.
Yeah. Well, and the other part is, as you mentioned, lots of Disney adults, right? So even though
Yes.
the ship is at lower capacity, it's really at lower capacity with families with young kids. It's really not a decreased capacity of the Disney adults, right? The Disney adult hardcore crowd that's going to everything, that's who's on board instead of more of that mix. And so even though you're increasing or like decreasing the total number, that's not going to decrease significantly
I
for
just
these
don't.
adult experiences that are in high demand. Although the Dr. Facilier one is not an adult only experience, but I would say it skews towards the adult
I just
crowd.
don't understand. So, like, if you think about the Wish, right? Like, what was the big thing on the Wish? It was the hyperspace lounge, and yeah, it was like
Yeah.
oversubscribed. You had to sign up for it, all that sort of stuff. On the Treasure, I never felt like there was some insane line that we stood in. Maybe for
Mhm.
Moana at some point, but
Yeah, Moana, there's lines for Moana, and then I would say on the first night or two, Haunted
Haunted
Mansion
Mansion.
Part.
But
Yeah.
what's amazing to me is they have all of these experiences on the Destiny and more. And
Yep.
it's not that the crowds are getting spread. It's like that they're concentrating further. It's like line after line. I'm gonna give it I want to give it a year. We'll be back on in December, and I just want to see, is this still a ship of lines? Because if it is, then there's a problem here.
Yeah, Great Power was also another line.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Great Power, Maleficent was a line to get
Yeah.
into under her spell, but I think also lines breed lines. Like you see a line, and then psychologically the FOMO hits you, and you're like, I got to get in that line because it's obviously something good. If people are waiting in line for it.
And I will say we might have stayed in or got in line longer than other folks because we wanted to get good seats and be able,
Yes.
like, especially for like Cruella. We got into one of the first ones, but we were like over in the little side corner and could barely see. So we ended up stepping out and leaving because we were like, we're going to come back when we can get like a good seat and actually see what's going on.
Yeah. So we've got some questions in the chat, so I'm going to just try and answer them real quick. So the Maleficent Under Her Spell is an interactive experience in Saga where Maleficent does like some spells and she invites a few people up on stage with her. And then at the end of it, if you're downstairs in Saga, you can do a meet and greet with her at the end. If you're upstairs in Saga, no go, cannot do the meet and greet. You can just watch the show. And then with Great Power is the Marvel themed adult only show that takes place in Saga that is usually offered on night one of, I believe, the sailings, and it's usually offered 2 different times. It might also be offered another night during the sailing. I think it's offered 2 different times, like 2 times on the first night, and then it might be offered one more time later on in the sailing, but I can't guarantee that. And it's a fantastic, hilarious adult only show. And then, of course, the Cruella Troublemaking with Cruella is a show that takes place in DeVille's Lounge, and that's also adult only, and it is an interactive experience that includes the storytellers and Cruella. So sorry
So
so I just wanted to
yeah.
jump in and get those out of the way quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we probably could have covered through the show, but that's okay. We got it on the table now. So I want to start with Great Power since we've started there. That was an experience high on the list. How did it live up to your expectations, or was it
And did you like it as much as the Indiana Jones show on the Treasure?
well, did they like the Indiana Jones show?
Yeah.
The Treasure might be the
Yes,
other
I
question.
Yeah.
love the Indiana Jones show.
Yeah, we saw the Indiana Jones show twice.
We saw Great Power twice.
Spoiler alert. We also saw Great Power twice. But our strategy is go to the 7:30 performance, and then if we like it, we can see it again. If you only go to the late one, then too bad, you can't see it again.
Okay, so you liked it.
I will say, yes, we did enjoy it, but I think I liked the Indiana Jones Choose Wisely better. I think the interactivity of it and things like that just make it a little better and it makes it worth doing twice in one night more than with Great Power, because with Great Power was, there's a little improv here and there, but it's mostly the same show.
Right. You're right. There's a little bit more variety and Choose Wisely because the audience is making a choice. Although, let's be honest, once the audience figures out, they're always making the bad choice before the good choice
Yes.
because they want to see the funny thing happen. So that's without giving spoilers. But yeah, so with the Indiana Jones Choose Wisely, everybody eventually starts choosing the wrong answer on purpose. But yeah, both really fun shows. I'm surprised, Drew,
Yeah.
though, because you're a big Marvel fan. I'm surprised that
I
you
am.
actually enjoyed Indiana Jones more than with Great Power.
I think that the Indiana Jones format just lended itself to more comedy, like just more silliness, more hijinks.
Yeah.
But with Great Power is also very funny, but they are also trying to cram a lot of heroes and a
Fair.
lot of story. I think in general, the narrative format of with Great Power was not quite as appealing to me. But nothing to do with the storytellers performing it. Like they're
Mhm.
incredible, as are the ones on the treasure. Like you
The
can't get
lounge singer
no.
lady was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
It was
the
amazing.
elixir singer was amazing.
Yeah.
So
She's
yeah, that's my
incredible.
tip. Go to the whatever the thing is the hour before. It's called Elixir Hall on the Destiny, because you'll get a seat for with Great Power. You can enjoy a themed cocktail and you can listen to some incredible singing once the Violet. I can't remember her last name, but Violet, whatever character comes out to do her thing.
So
Yeah.
I want to switch us over to talk about some of the other. We'll keep the adult theme going. The bar spaces on board. I'm going to set aside Haunted Mansion Parlor because it's exactly the same as on the Treasure, and so I'm assuming your opinion is pretty
I
similar.
don't even think I went in it.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did
Which
not
is-
darken the door.
Which is mind blowing, by the way, right? Because one of the best bars in the fleet. But let's
But
start.
with only 5 nights, and spoiler, Drew got sick on this cruise, and so Hayley got to experience some of the spaces by herself, which is fine. She's an independent woman, can do that.
Let me ask it this way: rather than go bar by bar, what was your favorite bar on board, and what was your least favorite kind of bar? Right. And let's limit this down to like the 3 that were. I mean, everyone knows the 3
new
we're talking
ones.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sanctum, DeVille's, and why am I blanking on the pub?
The pirates. Pirates.
Oh,
Cask
Cask and Cannon.
Cask
Cask
and
and
Cannon.
Cannon. Thank you. I
Thank
couldn't
you.
think
So,
of the name of it either.
Of
Yeah.
those 3, which one was like, oh, we love this one, and we could take or leave this one?
Well, the real answer is Hook's Barbary for the best bar on there. But
Now you're just
Not
pandering.
Scott,
You're
though.
just pandering to the host. No, yeah.
Okay, so I have to say this real quick, which is that you know that Drew is sick when he orders an old fashioned from Hook's Barbary and does not drink more than a single swallow of it. He like was struck with like a migraine like after his first sip somehow, and like so I wanted to save it because I probably cost like $20. So I carried it to dinner with me because I went to Worlds of Marvel dinner alone.
because I was hoping I could come back and maybe come back to dinner.
He wasn't going to make it to dinner, so I got our server to put him a chicken schnitzel together to go. But I also was still trying to figure out a way to save this old fashioned, and so I asked for a to-go cup, and the only ones they have are the children's cups. And so I may or may not have taken that in the children's cup and put it in our fridge. But then Drew did not recover.
I tried it though, so I can probably say I'm the only person to drink a Hook's Barbary old fashioned out of a children's
Out of a
sippy
sippy
cup.
cup.
on Disney Cruise.
So sorry, that was a digression. I thought it was a funny story, and I'm sure that when our stateroom host was cleaning up after us when we left, he was like, "I don't understand why this is here. What happened here?"
But back to the bars. I think my favorite. I really liked Sanctum, but I think probably DeVille's. That's definitely my favorite version of that space on the 3 new ships.
More than the cats.
Yes. I mean, the Aristocats is fine, but it's very light theming compared to DeVille's, I feel like.
Okay, that's fair. So we didn't try any of the drinks in DeVille's. There wasn't. I mean, I know they're interesting sounding, but they were maybe not my cup of tea. But we both tried I
tried the hot cocktail at the Sanctum. Don't do it.
He was like, it's so weird and I don't like it. I mean, he finished it, and then I got the one that was basically like a chai latte with bourbon in it. It was good. No complaints about that. At Sanctum.
I will say, go to Cask and Cannon between the meals on Pirate Night, and you may get a surprise guest.
And we shared the like pirate's booty or whatever, the one that comes in a treasure chest and is for 2 people. Mm-hmm. And then you get a whole bunch of the chocolate gold coins in there, and
That was
however many
probably
you
one
can,
of the better cocktails.
yeah, however many you can
Yeah,
carry
it's a
away
good
with you
cocktail.
is what you can take home with you because you've paid for them. So
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
We have
dump
like
the whole
40
thing.
of those gold coins somewhere.
It is excessive in that drink. Like the treasure chest
It
is full
is.
of chocolate gold coins, and they just kind of dump them out.
It
And you're like,
is.
what am I supposed to do with
Although I
this?
will say, we got it one time and they didn't put any chocolate coin. We had one time we
What?
ordered it and they had all the chocolate coins in it, and then one time we ordered it and they didn't fill it up with any chocolate coins. We didn't really need
That's,
them. We were like, it's fine, but
I
yeah,
mean,
that was
need
blasphemy.
is not part of it. I was like, these are coming home with me for the principle of the thing.
So are you
Yeah.
both DeVille's as your top? It sounds like yes.
I think the space of DeVille's is cool, and the activities that you can do in it are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be the show pushing me over the edge there.
I think it might be. The vibes I think are actually really lovely in Cask and Cannon. We did the whatever the ship's walking tour is that doesn't have a fun name.
Imagineering, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
Imagineering the ships. Yeah, I always want to call it the art of the theme show because I was raised on the classic ships, you know. But when we were doing that tour on one of the sea days, there was somebody just like posted up in there reading with a book, and I was like, that seems so lovely. If I wasn't trying to do all the things for the content, and just because of the
Just for
novelty
us,
of it, and
yeah.
for us, yeah, for the novelty of it, that would be a fun space to relax in.
And so let's pause for a minute then around DeVille's, because you said you saw the show. So obviously you did troublemaking with Cruella.
Yep.
Sam, that was one of the shows you described, right? So we've got that covered. Okay. What did you think of troublemaking, and did you think it would be repeatable?
I think so, as long as it's interesting. I think they kind of prompt you in a direction for the song. So as long as they're not just getting everyone to kind of regurgitate and make the same song every time, I think it would be, which I don't think they will. They're good at improv. They'll make up a different song and they write it down and give it to people.
Well, didn't you have like a super unique lyric contribution to
We
the song?
did.
We
We
did.
had somebody.
I got one.
Well, yours wasn't that unique. It
But
was good.
I
But
did
it
get
wasn't
it.
unique.
I got one though.
Okay, yes, you got one. Here's a cookie. No, no, somebody volunteered that she had a good credit score, and that
Yeah.
made it into the final song. And I guarantee you, they don't get. She has a good
Credit
credit score
score.
very often.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, I love
That
it.
was not Drew's though.
No.
I love it.
It
So
was
you
not
enjoyed the show, even though you had to
Oh,
wait. in
yeah.
line to see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I would have repeated it, except that I just could not handle the thought of waiting in line for another hour for it. That's something else.
So-
I could be doing something else on the ship for that.
So here's a good question then. Before we get to the bar you would leave, like you take it or leave it. The line situation on board, since we talked about that, were there any experiences you had where you're like, this line was far and above disproportionate to the quality of the experience that I just had? Or did you feel like the lines were justified? You feel like, okay, I waited in line and I had the thing that I was really wanting to
Yeah,
have.
like I wish I didn't wait
The
in
wor-
line,
the-
but
the- it was worth
but
the wait.
it
Yeah.
was worth it.
Here's what I'll say. I think everything we waited for was under an hour. And being parks people, we're DVC. We go to the parks several times a year. I've waited much longer for far worse. And so I think that it is
Or for
perfectly
far
fine.
less, you should say, for far
Yes,
less, right?
for
Like,
far
because
less.
Yeah, I was
you'll
gonna say-
you'll wait for a ride that is like a 30-second ride, right? Like, if you
Right,
think about how long
exactly.
you wait for Tron, right?
I know, I was
And
gonna
then
say
think of how
Tron. I'm
short
looking at
Tron
you.
is. It's right. I mean,
Yeah.
Tron is a great ride, but it's really short, right? So if you're
Yeah.
waiting an hour for Tron, that's like a minute long, versus you're waiting an hour for troublemaking with Cruella, which is like 45 minutes long or something, right? Like,
Right.
I say, well,
yeah,
worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for me, Dr. Facilier's parlor, he's really good, but it is a very short experience, and I do find
It
the
is.
line to be disproportionate to my ultimate enjoyment of it. Troublemaking makes my Broadway nerd heart happy, just the general experience of that. So that to me is more worth it, and it is longer, which is also helpful from a payoff perspective.
I've got one more question to get at this in just a slightly different way. Of the experiences you had on board that you waited in line for, which ones, if you went back, would you say, I'm getting back in line for that? If the line was still, it was the same. It was like a 45-minute wait.
I would-
Like, I'm definitely still going to get back in that line.
I would definitely do troublemaking. I would do Great Power again.
Yeah.
In the lounge singing. Dr. Facilier would be a push just because of how short it is. He's great, but it's just so short that the like you said, the math isn't as good on that one.
Yeah.
And only like they take what 10, 12 people in, and only 3 of them really get to participate, and even then, only one like really gets to participate. And so, whereas like with troublemaking, you can shout out anything, and everybody's participating, and it's going around and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think if we got back on the Destiny tomorrow, I'm not doing a mad dash for Dr. Facilia's parlor again, but I will go out of my way to plan a time to be in line for troublemaking. The Corella fashion show is cool, but you don't have to really line up for it in the same way, especially if you're not trying to walk in it. Like it's easier to get a spot to observe it. And Maleficent under her spell is somewhere in the middle of the two, I think. It is a longer experience, and we were just like flabbergasted by how good the Maleficent is.
She's so good. The pictures, you got some great pictures also, Drew, but she was so good. And I don't know, and same with Dr. Facilier as well, but like, and the Cruella, right? Well, I don't know what it will be when Treasure Cast Destiny Cast number 2 comes on, which is very soon. It's like the end of this month, I believe, that the new cast will come on. They've been in rehearsals, obviously in Toronto. I'm sure they'll be great, but there's some real standouts in Destiny Cast number 1.
If you told me that they based the cartoon Maleficent off the woman who was playing Maleficent on that ship, I would have believed you. She was that good.
I had that reaction to Dr. Facilier for sure. Like he just seemed like
they're both incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
All right, let me get over to the question because we've got 2 more major topics we got to cover.
We got to talk about
dining and shows. So I just want to ask, like, of the 3 bars, we've identified DeVille's as your favorite. It sounds like Cask and Cannon might be a close second. So is the Sanctum kind of the?
No, you're going to put Haunted Mansion on the bottom.
No, took that off the list. But yeah,
I think so. It's just I've always since this generation of ship had a problem with that one because of how open it is. There's always people like standing around. Nothing they plan and put in there's not enough seating for it, whether it's a trivia or whatever it is. Like you've always got everyone sitting down and then people standing up doing trivia on the wall
in the hallway.
In the hallway. Fair. And I like that space because it's family friendly. Like I like that they do a lot of family friendly activities in there, and I like that they have musicians in there. But I agree with you; there's never enough seating for all the different activities that they end up doing. So people do, end up sort of spilling into the hallways, and it's not the best use of space in that sense.
So I want to move us on to dining for a second.
I thought we were going to move to shows, but
no,
okay.
We're going to do dining. We'll save shows for the end. On dining, let's just focus on that which is unique and different about the Destiny, which is Pride Lands. You were on a 5-night, and we've got a question in the chat here that we'll start to answer when I bring this up. Did you get in a rotation that had Pride Lands twice?
Yeah.
I think we requested it.
We did request that.
And so did you get the night 2 Pride Lands menu on this sailing?
We did.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yes, we're so jealous. We have not. So here's the thing about 5-night sailings. There's a question in the chat. I know the answer to. The answer is on a 5-night sailing on the Destiny, you are not getting a pirate night menu. It's the only ship in the fleet where you're not on a 5-night sailing going to get a pirate night menu. You're actually going to get a night 2 menu in whatever rotational dining restaurants you go to. So if you're at Pride Lands twice on your 5-night sailing, you're going to get that second night menu. If you're in Marvel twice, you're going to get that second night menu. And then if you're in 1923, of course, you're going to get that second night menu. So obviously you want Pride Lands.
We were in Pride Lands for Pirate Night.
So let's just talk about let's talk about the food, the show, the atmosphere. Like break it down for us. Like what did you love?
And there's only one show, just to be clear, in Pride Lands.
What did you love? What did you not love? Yeah.
We're adventurous eaters. We love like things like Sanaa at Magic Kingdom and things like that. So the food was right up our alley at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, I was like
at the Florida resorts. So the food was right up our alley. We loved the food. I want more spice. I always want more spice, so like even what's there, I'm like, come on, kick it up, do a little bit more. The theming was great. I think it's my favorite of the three like that. It's definitely better than Arendelle, and I think for me personally beats out Coco. And then the show was heads, I would say, far better than any of the other shows in the spaces like that on the other
Wow.
ships. Even the Coco one. We loved the Lion King show.
We did, but I really love the Coco one too. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like a 1A, 1B situation with Coco and Pride Lands. But the whole time, Drew was just like, "This is the best one. This is my new favorite," talking to me. So
Yes.
So
he was in his feelings.
what were some of the dishes that you tried? Like, what were some of the standouts that you really enjoyed?
Okay,
I have to go.
I gotta pull up my photos.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wasn't ready.
Did you have
You
the
had
shrimp
the-
curry?
You had the shrimp curry.
Yes, I love the shrimp curry. This is what I'm saying. I go into Indian restaurants and order 8s.
We were
and
in Pride
9s,
Lands
so
the night one. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
So I'm
I
going
got
to
the- I
answer a
got the
question as
Berber
we're looking
chicken.
this. Oh, the Berber chicken. So the question from Nathan in the chat, why no Pirate Night menu on the Destiny? Are they not doing Pirate Night at all? The answer is they're doing Pirate Night, but they have a night 2 menu for Pride Lands, and it's because they do have a few sailings that they do that are 7-night sailings, and so they have these other menus that they otherwise would only be doing like twice a year, and so they're still doing Pirate Night. They just don't do a Pirate Night menu. So it's similar to if you're doing like on the Wish. If you're doing a 3-night sailing, you don't get the Pirate Night menu, even though you do have a Pirate Night. On the Destiny, it's the 5-night, and it's only on the Destiny. Every other ship, if you're on a 5-night, of course, depending on your itinerary, but if you're in like the Caribbean, you are getting a Pirate Night.
And
yeah, it's unique.
Beth, I'll let Hayley and Drew kind of speak to the specific food that they ate. I was going to say that the restaurant very much, the comparison Drew gave it to like a Sanaa is a very, very apt comparison. It's supposed to feature African cuisine. There are a few dishes like the shrimp curry that sort of almost border on Indian cuisine, but those cuisines and the spices that they use are actually, there's a lot of like crossover in African cooking, Middle Eastern cooking, and then in Indian cooking. So there's like a lot sort of being drawn upon there. But Drew, Hayley, talk us through. So you had the shrimp curry, you had the Berber chicken.
Chicken, both
I
excellent
had the
dishes.
peri-peri shrimp.
And I had the curried apricot chicken sausages. Might be saying that wrong.
Yes.
But they're like grilled
It's
chicken
the
skewers with a
skewers,
quinoa pilaf.
Yeah.
Very good appetizer. And then entrees. I had the Berber spice chicken, and Drew had the shrimp curry.
And the chicken.
There is like, if you're wondering if like this is for you, if you're not into this kind of food, they still have like a prime rib with potatoes. Like they're gonna have something for everyone because it's still a Disney Cruise Line. They still want everybody to be able to enjoy something there.
And a day does not go by that I do not get 2 entrees on a Disney Cruise Line.
Oh yeah, and Ed's saying it made me more similar to Tiffin's. We have not eaten at Tiffin's, but I would not be surprised. I guess let me ask this: would you have off the night 2 menu? Because we haven't been able to experience that, and I don't think we've talked to many people who've had the night 2 menu yet.
Okay. Well, I had the ham pie.
Yeah, there's a ham
It was
pie
pretty
that's
good, so like
it's
an
kind of like an empanada. It's like lamb and beef in it, and like a garlic ginger, and then a tomato apricot chutney.
Oh, I also had the shrimp pilaf that night because I love seafood.
Yes. And then
That was just okay from what I remember.
entrees. I pulled up the menu because I was like,
yeah, sorry, that's why we're looking. What did I have? The short rib, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
how
yeah,
was
I
the
think
short
we
rib?
both
We
had the
we
short
saw
rib.
that. Yeah. How was
It was
that?
good. It was
Yeah,
good.
It was good.
Nobody got the pork tenderloin. I think we
No.
asked our server, and he said
Yeah, I got the scallops and the short rib. That's what I got
scallops.
that
Where
night.
does there say scallops?
Pan-seared scallops.
Oh, the
Right
top
here.
one. The top one. Okay. Yeah.
I love that you ordered 2 entrees, Drew. I love
was
that that's
Every
your
time.
There was
Yeah.
a
It's his,
dessert on the second night menu that was supposed to be fabulous, and I can't remember what it was.
It's
Is it the
the
pineapple upside down cake?
Yes.
Might be. Yes. Yeah,
I got the
think so.
donuts. That's
Yeah,
what
you
I
got the donuts with the hazelnut sauce. I'm allergic to hazelnuts, so I couldn't get that. I did get the pineapple upside down cake. The chocolate pecan tart is maybe good, but I'm again allergic to tree nuts, so
Okay.
could not try that.
Was the pineapple cake good?
It was. It's a yogurt cake. with the caramelized pineapple. Pineapple upside down cake is not like high on my list of favorite desserts in general, but it is good, and it definitely does taste like a yogurt cake if you've ever had one of those.
And
Nice.
what did you think of the show element on night one? And one of the things we've been kind of going back and forth with some guests is sort of like, is it dinner and a show and dinner? Did they strike the right balance for you?
And is it too loud?
So, I don't think it was too loud, but we're not really trying to talk to each other as much because we were seated by ourselves. So we didn't have like any new friends we were getting to know, and we've been together the whole day. So it's not like, what did you do today?
No. It's like, I don't want to actually talk to you. Yeah.
No, we really just wanted to hear the show. So we were, more zoned in on that. But I will say they've already, changed the show because there was no Shadowlands song. And I was really sad about that.
So you just have to watch my reel on Instagram over and over again because I have actually I don't know if I have the whole part of Shadowlands, but if not, it's a nice big chunk of it.
It did seem like that they did tell us on like the first the sailings that we were on, like this is still very much test and adjust. And I think there was kind of a perception, at least on some of the early sailings, like this is really long.
It was really long.
This is really long. Yeah.
I think that's what I heard somewhere, that they even cut like one of the times that they come out, like that they come out like one less time.
Between the preview and then the maiden voyage, because we were on the first preview and then they did a couple more previews after us. They had come out 4 times on the preview, and then on the maiden they came out 3 times, and we weren't exactly sure what they had sort of cut, but they had I think they had merged some stuff sort of together and shortened some stuff, right? But like I think they only came out 3 times, once on the maiden and on the second voyage. So they may have now even cut it even more because it was really hard for the servers to come and bring the food and take away plates and all of that. Like that's where it just went on for a really long time, even though the performers are wonderful. It was just a little bit too long.
It is a little on the long side. Our server had to tell us like, the show's not over yet because there was like such a long amount of time between appearances, and I was like, I feel like I knew that He Lives in You was part of the set list, and I was like, we haven't had He Lives in You yet, which is like the big emotional finale. So I was like, we can't leave yet, even though like we're pretty much done eating, but I wanted to hear that song. So the pacing is a little bit, there still seems like they're still kind of finding their footing, because there were people who just straight up like missed the finale because they were like, we're done eating, ready to go. Yeah. Especially if you have young kids. And we always do early dining. So there are, more kids there than probably in the later.
Where does Pride Lands rank for you? It sounds like you might like.
For me, it's number 1 of the new ships.
Okay. And for you, Hayley, you said 1A, 1B?
Yeah, it's like a 1A, 1B, and which one it might depend on the day, because I feel like the cocoa really like ties everything together like so nicely and emotionally. Like the through line of the story is maybe like a little more impactful, and I really like the food in Plaza de Coco as well. But I would do either of them tomorrow, and I think between those two, that's my favorite rotational dining in the fleet.
So period. I think the other big differentiator between these two shows is at Coco, you have characters on stage. Like you have actual characters, sort of people portraying characters on stage. Whereas at Pride Lands, no Simba, no Timon, no, like none
right.
of those
it's just storytelling.
It's just storytelling. Yeah. So it's just different that way. So, all right. So speaking of storytelling, Sam would murder me if we did not devote what little time remains in this episode to talking about Hercules. So
Hercules.
What did you think? What did you think of the show, the puppetry,
and
everything?
You guys saw Hercules on the West End too, didn't you?
No, we saw Hades. We've seen Hades Town.
We saw Hades.
That's right.
Play Hades in Hades Town.
That's right. Yes. That's why I got confused. You didn't see Hercules on the West End, but you have seen this Hades play Hades in Hades Town. That's right.
Yeah,
which is a different version of it. So. Love the show. The puppetry is fantastic. I will say I did not love where we sat for the show, and I was doing my best to get a seat, but we ended up we were in the lower section, like kind of more towards the left. And because of the set pieces that they have, like with the stairs and all of that, I feel like you really need to be center in order to get a good view of what's going on in this show. So that's like my regret of our experience with it. So I think I would have liked it even more if I could have seen the whole thing from where I was sitting. So, they say there's no bad seat in the Walt Disney Theater, and I would say that is true of most of the shows, but I would say that is not true of Hercules. But it's a great show.
Yeah, I really liked it, but I was also, it's pretty much a fever dream for me because I was coming down with the flu. I did not know it then, but I was
Drew.
like actively coming down with the flu at that point. So,
Yeah.
Well, you know what that means.
We got to go again.
Yeah, to go again.
That's right.
Solution to every problem is another Disney cruise, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where does it rank for you, Hayley, in terms of shows on board the cruise line? I mean, Moana is its closest sort of competitor, but Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, like there's a lot of great shows out there. So where do you rank this one?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I was like, I don't have an answer. Is it your new favorite?
Yes, for me, it's my new favorite again. It was
even though it was a fever dream.
But yes, but I love
a great fever dream
the experience. It's like, the Titans are really here, like.
Well, and also that whole the whole gospel, A Star Is Born.
Exactly.
It's like I feel like in a fever dream that would be even enhanced even more. It's like there's so much going on stage,
exactly.
and it's like and the dancing's incredible and the music is incredible, and so it's
and
just
I feel like I need to see it. I need to see it more because I feel like I was just missing stuff because there's so many muses. I'm trying to get the words. I hadn't seen the movie in a long time, so that was part of it. Is I was just like, what are the words to these songs again? And then I couldn't see as well from where we were sitting. But
and you don't want to sit too close. Here's another pro tip, right? So it's such of course Hercules is amazing. Corey J. Bradford is incredible, but a lot of the scenes are like a large ensemble, and so if you're sitting up too close, you don't get sort of the full view of the stage. So I'd say ideally you don't want to be in the very front of the first section. Either the front of the second section or somewhere in the middle of that first section would be, and of course center is always the best, let's be honest. So I think it's an incredible cast. I'm curious to see again at the end of this month when they change over casts what that will be like, because I can't imagine anyone not Corey as Hercules right now. It's just hard to see. And the muses, the muses, and of course the one that we were talking about, I think her real name is Shania. She is she's the one who plays Violet in Elixir Hall, and she is just all of the muses are incredible.
And that's why I think this one was my favorite. I was a little disappointed with Moana. It didn't live up. I guess maybe I had too high expectations, but I think the thing that puts Hercules over even more for me is every single person was incredible.
They are
all of them, all the muses, Hades, Hercules, Megra, Pain and Panic, even everybody was just so good.
I think you're talking me into that. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think you are.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, they actually, for Pain and Panic, they originally considered using puppetry kind of like they do for Lumiere and Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast. And then they realized it was limiting them too much. And so then they took away the puppets and then just let Pain and Panic be Pain and Panic. And it was perfect, right? It's so good.
And Pegasus. We got to give a shout out to Pegasus. Because
you mean
the way
the magic carpet
portrays, just great.
He's amazing.
Great. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't talk, he doesn't sing. It's all facial expressions and body physical comedy and
some noises.
Delightful. And some noises, but he's not vocal, using words. So I really enjoyed your coverage of that and how that process came to be. So go back to the archives if you want to know more about that.
So we're running over, so let me start to wrap us up. I have maybe 2 final questions for you. The first is, what's the thing you didn't get to do on the Destiny that's gonna take you back that you got to do? Or did you get to do it all? I mean, that's a fair
Or did you
answer.
get to do
We
enough?
did everything
Yeah.
we wanted, and there's nothing we missed that we care about. That's also a fair
I
answer.
think what will get me back will be doing I'm ready to go back to do the things again, but mostly I want to see Hercules again.
Yeah, that would be good. I didn't get the first Loki encounter on night one, so that would be something that I would do differently for a second sailing. Not because I regret my choice the first time, but just because like now I
do think we missed some of the stuff in the Grand Hall because we were waiting in line for something.
Yeah,
else.
I crammed in a lot though, because I did the fashion show with Cruella. I did the Celebration of a King at the end.
Yeah, we did.
And
but I'm just saying,
I did the Zaya and Gamble thing.
I think we did miss
maybe while you were in World of Old Fashion. I don't know, but the first thing that came to mind was relax, because we did the Haunted Mansion game. We crammed it all in. So I think next time just chilling a little bit more would be nice.
So last question. I think Drew may have previewed this at the beginning of the show when he said the Treasure might outrank the Destiny, but only because it does 7-night sailings. I think you said that, Drew.
No, he was talking about they were talking about the Grand Hall. So I don't know if he gave I don't know if he gave an overall.
Name your top 3 Disney ships, because I want to see if the Destiny has cracked the top 3.
It has for me. I will go ahead and go. It's still the Treasure is still my number one. Yes, the 7 nights is a big part of it. It's got good shows and things like that, the good theming. But the Treasure, then the Destiny, then the Fantasy. That's my top 3.
Nice. All right, Hayley.
Same. Yeah, I knew this question was coming. I've given it a lot of thought. Treasure and Destiny are like a 1A, 1B, but if you make me pick one, I'm picking the Treasure.
Nice. All right. Well, there you have it. There's the Hayley and Drew certified fresh verdict on the Disney Destiny. Thank you so much for coming on, you two, and sharing this experience with our audience. For everyone out there listening, watching, if you're listening and not watching, like, come over and watch, because it's really fun. I promise. And we get to answer questions from people in the chat. You could post a question that we want to answer.
Sometimes people are listening live though in their cars, right? Like I know there's some folks listening to us. Linda, I'm looking at you, listening to us while she's driving around.
Hands-free, not distracted. The Duo doesn't recommend distracted. Yeah. So but anyway, come over to YouTube occasionally and just check it out. It's fun. So with that, we will be back next week. It is President's Day on Monday.
Yes, it's President's Day on Monday, but we will be here.
We don't take a day off at this show.
No, this is important stuff. We will be back at our normal time, same as today, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna have the Holgate family, which is Stephen and Brian, the adults from the Holgate family. They're gonna be. They've got a great YouTube. If you haven't followed them on YouTube, they have a fantastic YouTube show that they publish, I believe, weekly, maybe even more than that. But anyway, they're really fun. We've interacted with them quite a bit on social media, with Steven in particular, and they recently got back from a Disney cruise. I can't even remember what ship, but we invited them to come on our show. We'd love to hear what they think of Disney Cruise Line. They're big Disney fans, of course, and so it'll be really fun having them on next week. And remember, we might be back before then. If the itineraries do drop in the next couple of days, we will try to scramble and put together a last minute show. And so stay tuned. Watch on our, keep an eye on our socials, on Instagram, on Facebook in particular, and probably on Threads. And we'll let you know if we're going to have a show, what time that will be and what day and all of that. So all the good things. I'll say, may the odds be ever in your favor for those of us trying to book wine and dine registration for that race weekend tomorrow, because I don't know, just go to the One More Run podcast and they'll explain to you how to register, but it's a pain in the butt to register for Disney races.
All right. Well, I think with that, we will just say
see you real soon.
There you go. See you real soon.
See you real soon.